Okay, hello everyone. They drafted much faster than I thought they would. They gave us a good 30-minute buffer for the YouTube stream, but it's faster than that. Hello, Hadi Raja. Is it Sweden? Did I get the teams wrong? Hold on, hold on. I should actually click the drafts that I posted. It is Sweden, though. I totally misspelled the team name. I copied from the other semifinals. There we go. Thank you. And hello, H Quasi. Hello, HQ. What? I could try something different with how I link these. A markdown style. Move all embeds. There we go. And zoom out. Hello, zoom out. And there they go. So this will be like Nocturne was Acro and Sweden was Spaden on their rosters. I didn't quite get the rosters on the overlay like I wanted, but we got close. We got close. We got the maps and everything properly displayed, I think. And Califinway, hello. This will be the top community league, the Pathfinder League. This will be the semifinals. See what players join for each game. It'll be Spaden and Martin. Right now just Acro so far for Nocturna. But all these players around 2K2. So a really high level game we have. Nocturna had won their division. Sweden was second in their division behind Rulers of Rome. Already in the semis, yes. Hello, Hawken. And just gonna wait for them to get started. Okay, and Matt Tomsky has joined with Acro. His budget Turs, I don't know who that is. No Turs though, he was in Nocturna A. Acker indeed is here. Alright, and they are launching. We have no Spectale, getting right into it. Right into it. So here we go. We will be red versus blue. And it will be on Sumatra, where Martin will be playing as the Green Armenians, and Spaden will be playing as the Blue Wu. It'll be to the southwest, of course, the blue player here, Spaden, on the land as the Wu. Then we shall have Acro as the red Japanese on land, and Matomsky as the yellow Dravidians on land. So over here we will have the potential longsword matchup of Japanese versus Wu. Wu might go for the Jin swordsman, as we've seen so many times before, but maybe, just maybe, I'm hoping we might finally see that longsword against Jin swordsman play instead of knights. As I've seen knights fail too many times, I want to see some long swords. And then Acro sending 5 over to wood and docking. Of course, this is still a 9-ville start. We'll see our water players docking Armenians and Dravidians. Expect to see some galleys from them. And of course, tomorrow we will be back with more Medieval Masters. Wasn't able to cast yesterday because I was having a water heater replaced, but we'll have more games tomorrow. I had a plumbing emergency. Martin adding in a house. Fishing ships on the way out for Spaden. Also, I decreased the scroll speed from edge scrolling. Don't know if that improves things. Maybe I made it too slow. I put it down to what was the value for standard. Maybe up that a tiny bit. Where are we at? Where are we at? Settings. Zoom speed, edge scroll speed. Put on the higher notch of standard. That feels better. I feel like it refreshes a bit too much as I scroll, though. It doesn't feel smooth. That hurts your brain. Hello, Synchrotron. What hurts your brain about it? It definitely hurt T90 and Dark's brain when they went for that landing Men-at-Arms play that didn't work out. I'll have to think about what we do for Sumatra if we run this tournament again. We've now used it twice in a row, and I've really liked it, but it's also kind of dominated all the water maps. It's nice to have maybe one galley map, but there isn't really much play other than you just go galleys. Late game, there's some different strategies for slinging or swapping to the mainland. But I think maybe it's time next time we'll pick a different map. Also got to decide if you want to do a water category at all, either, anyway. This was really the only water map people played in between Gold and Silver. We had 2 islands and 1 Mediterranean. I think Mediterranean's a really interesting map in its own right. I'd like to actually to have a pool where that's used. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it. Oh, the deer push from Spaden. That deer's going crazy. And Bazzi, thank you very much for the raid, Bazzi. I know there was a Heaven and Hell set earlier today. You were probably casting that. Trying to see all the Bazzi random possibilities we get. Oh wait, Synchrotron, you have a crown near your name. What does that mean on YouTube? If I click that, it says top fan, you have 25 XP. I don't even know what that is on YouTube. What is that? Let me display my live chat instead of the top chat. But okay, if you know what that is, let me know. So Martin, Spaden, Matomsky all up to Feudal. Acro just a bit slower, but not a different timing. Barracks on the way. Don't see any militia yet. Yeah, and Beast Chi. Yes, and some Beast Chi. A lovely map. There should be like a small percentage chance that the beasts on Beast G are Cobra Cars. So Acro needs to move his fish over to the deep fish. Still on the box turtle there. Actually, I'm making a map where there might legit be uses of Cobra Cars. A cobra is an animal, you're right. Oh, and speaking of which, don't ask you don't know what the crown is. Okay, it reminds me of like a RuneScape purple party hat with the purple logo. Anyway, the Lego made a Cobra car and I've ordered it. It's supposed to be here. I didn't do the express shipping. I did the standard shipping, which is 3 to 5 days. So whenever it gets here, we're gonna do a Lego stream. That might be cool. We cast Medieval Masters on Sunday. We cast the finals, then we do a Lego stream. It's random extreme, and I think it randomly awards you XP when you chat. Okay, didn't know that about YouTube. So Acro did manage to run his Vil. I'm gonna be doing a small wall. And the scouts will be running around for Spaden. So forward spear and archer for Acro. Still hoping for those long swords. Scouts pick off a spear. Also, they'll pick off an archer. And another scout will run away for Acro. Also, you might hear someone cutting the grass outside. They tend to do that every Thursday, or that's when the grounds crew around here does their yard work. So you might hear that outside the window. Although today's not Thursday, so I don't know why they're doing it today, but I hear them outside. Unless it's like my neighbor's air conditioning too. Something like that. Sometimes they do it on like Tuesdays if they think Thursday is going to be bad weather. Well, I don't know what's going on, but I hear noise outside. And that's always the nightmare for a streamer. Something outside your control affects the stream. The scouts will be picking off the archers here, and on the water, still feels like the galleys are fairly equal. You guys also be viewer in the chat. Tell me if I'm too zoomed in or too zoomed out. As my comments are, that I'm usually too zoomed in. Is this a good zoom? Is this too far out? I think maybe one notch in there. Zoom out will be like I'll be casting like this, and he'll be like, "Oh, you're too zoomed in. I can only see everything." And we can zoom in more on the galley war, and that is 10 to 9, 10 to 8, slight advantage for Martin. This is the team game. Yes, this is the team game Tuesday. Medieval Masters logo is on the screen still. Thank you for letting me know that. I got to turn that off. Thank you. So that as soon as the top scores changed. Apologies, forgot to turn that off. So many buttons I gotta click while streaming. One day I'm gonna have this process be more streamlined. There's a blacksmith going up. Go Nocturna, hello Turs. Hello Turs. Tur's here to turn on his Tur's here to cheer on his fellow clanmates. I can't speak today. I had a rather bad migraine yesterday too, and I'm still vocally recovering from it. So it's nice that we can even get down to the community leagues, and we're still 2K2 as the elo for all the players. So Castle Age on the way, and we have double ranges. I hope this isn't Japanese cav archers against Gen swordsmen. Come on, Acro, we want to see some long swords, please. Just want to see long swords. Only one barracks, and I don't see men-at-arms on the way. $2K5 is the old 2K. I don't think you're quite at that level, but you're getting close to it. Elo's definitely a bit higher in DE than they were on Voodoo. Definitely a bit more stretched out, too. At the top, they're definitely higher. There's bloodlines. Okay, bloodlines. We're looking for cav archers then. For acro. On the water, still fairly close. Slight uptiming advantage by about 1 minute for Madtomsky. On the woodline here, Ville's running away from Martin. Galley's still making on the water back and forth. There's Acro up to castle, and of course it will be Japanese cav archers. It's 2025. No one can resist the allure of the Japanese cav archer in 2025. So skirms are forward. We'll need a couple of cav archers before dealing with skirms. And immediately we have a market in 2 TCs for Acro. He's going for the boom approach. Whereas we have the double barracks forward for Spaden. He's going to go for the Gen Swordsman approach. So Gen Swordsman against Cav Archer and Boom. Cav Archers do have an opportunity maybe to run forward and get into the eco. Spaden not fully walled, didn't manage to wall to the edge of the map, even though he probably could do a nice wall right here and be safe. Hello, GG out. Like getting hit by the scouts, and the knight will have to run away. Ooh, Terra's countering by telling Sweden to GG out. I know, the legend Spaden. I haven't seen Spaden in so long. I'm glad Spaden's here to play. So, forward workshop, double barracks, Gen Swordsman. And what else are these villas going to do? They can just start maybe whacking with the archery ranges. We'll have 6 cav archers here. It will have Vodkin on the way. No ballistics yet. Ballistics on the way from Matomsky. Matomsky feels like he's starting to dominate the water a bit. He's starting to get the war galley production going. But Martin's still maintaining his numbers. We'll have maybe the stronger galley with that extra arrow as the Armenians. At the front, it is a ram push. Let's go Rams against Gen Swordsman Skirms. Now, Elite Skirms still could maybe be useful for Spaden, but he will lose his numbers before he gets to them. It will just be Gen Swordsman now, along with that Ram. He can hide inside the Ram. Now, take out those ranges rather fast. This range can't be repaired. Another Ram on the way. Defensive Mangonel for Acro. House here will go down, and that will mean the Gen Swordsman get in. Or the Gen Swordsman get in. Running around there on the inside. Quick walls here from Acro. Trying to get a good trap on the Cav Archers. Does so. These guys not only have insane Pierce armor, they also heal. So we'll likely need to see a Mangonel now from Spaden as he loses the Scorpion that he wanted for dealing with the Cav Archers. On the water, we'll have a War Galley battle, but Madtomsky will be winning it. He will be winning, and Martin will lose everything on the water. So good pop lead now for Madtomsky. And we're going to have a double workshop forward for Acro. These Gen Swordsmen going to start getting under the TCs. Not caring about that arrow fire in the slightest. And they'll start picking off vills from Acro. I'm still, you're the Japanese Acro. I just want to see for once, someone go longswords against the Gen Swordsmen. Go for the unit that's supposed to counter them. Well, one thing that Acro did counter was the forward villager with the Cav Archers, managed to pick him off. And that second workshop will not go up. Martin will play ACCM this Friday in Heaven and Hell. Lucky seating. Cav Archer's going to pick off the Mangonel. Ooh, nice hit there. But it does go down. They still have mobility. 2 Mangonels on the inside doing a bit of a dance. And oop. Sable won't go up as the Gen Swordsman picks off a villager. On the land, we did manage to have a transport as Martin has made it over. Those 20 garrison capacity transports really paying off. Okay, Scorpion's going down to the Mangonel. Spaden continuing his push. The Jin Swordsman starting to tank some mangonel shots. The Cav Archer is blocking the mangonel so it can't micro away. And, ooh, not quite the trade there that Spaden wanted. He will lose his rhymes to mangonels. Acro managing to defend so far. Tanking some mangonel shots on the Cav Archers. This is the risk of going for rams, is that they can be stopped by the mangonel push instead of pure mangonel. And now some knights are out. That will mean we probably do need Spaden to... Ooh, nice mangonel shot to be going for a monastery. We have the monastery already. For Acro. The Japanese do have the option for redemption monks. This is open now. That monk will go down. And the Jin Swordsmen will start hoovering their way on in. If they can pick off the mangonel, give this mangonel some freedom, then it can start hitting TCs. And desperate repairs on the mangonel there from Acro. I'm getting pinged. Right. What did that have to do with the other community tournament? So many community tournaments going on. So mangonels will start to take each other out. Ooh, Jin Swordsman gets killed by Spaden's own mangonel. The Vils are pulled to fight. Knight going to hit the mangonel. No monk to defend it yet. Forward Vil will go to repair, but not in time. Mangonel goes down. I still have to worry about Acro's Cav Archer numbers. We do have Matomsky coming over to the land. Is there any slinging? No slinging yet, just market usage. Jin Swordsman feel like they're starting to overwhelm Acro. Feel like he's starting to get overwhelmed. He's adding in another monastery. These guys that believe they don't have conversion resistance like eagles do. Acro still mining that exposed gold. Couple of scorpions out, more mangonels out. They both will trade. Now 68 fills to 75. So behind this, oh, what is that? We have 1, 2, 3, and now our 4th TC from Spaden. He is booming behind this. Look at the score difference, and he is well above Acro. So Swordsman take out the knight. Swordsman go over, they will go for the mangonel. And the mangonel will go down. Some swordsmen get in, they'll find a villager. And they will stop the quick walls. Quick walls will not go up in time. The swordsman will get in on the gold. They will be able to hoover on around. Oh, Acro, oh no. Tried to play Cav Archer against Jin Swordsman. That's something we've seen so many times, and we've seen it always fail. And now, although maybe he'll get a respite, as Matomsky will be doing a defensive castle, but now, can they, having won the water, somehow use that to win the land when Martin's booming up? Martin is booming up right now, and Spaden's team as a whole has more resources. Oh, I should probably put the names on the scoreboard. Hold on. We're in the middle of a big fight with a mangonel shot. That could hit scorpions, could hit rams. Swordsman not going for the mangonel. It will get... Ooh, doesn't quite get the scorpion. It goes down. Alright, we need to get these team names there. Oh, Sweden. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do it after the game. I need to find that umlaut capital character. It's not on my keyboard. Poopy boys will be strong. Ooh, you're right, Arumi Swordsman. Wasn't there a CA update that fixed score resetting? I have no idea. But I didn't set the name to begin with, so if it reset, then that's not the problem. The problem is I need to type it in. The problem is I have 2 scoreboards, one in CA and one outside of it. Casting settings jump scare. And hello, that dog and him. You're apparently number 2 on YouTube right now. I don't know what those numbers mean. Maybe that's a new YouTube thing they just started. The scorpions need some repairs. Jin Swordsman going for the houses. And hello, Fergus. Okay, here come the The whip swordsman. Okay, the Arumi swordsman. It's a big ram push, but a lot of monks out now. And indeed, the Arumi swordsman absolutely devastated the Jin swordsman. The whip sword's OP. Everyone wants different behavior from the scoreboard. I just want my scoreboard to link to my out-of-game scoreboard. At some point, I'm just gonna replace it with a browser overlay. So TC shooting the Arumis, and Imperial Age on the way for Martin. Just include AI in the scoreboard. Imperial Age for Martin though, that could be scary. It would be Armenians. We have some men-at-arms from Akro. He's doing it finally. He's doing men-at-arms. It's what we wanted to see all along. What I wanted to see all along. Swordsman line from the Japanese. Castle going up on the small hill for Spaden. I can also roll on forward. I also try to keep an eye on my VRAM usage. Okay, really high. Thanks, Capture Age. Fire is going to take out another fire. Poor galley. What's it being shot at by? What is this shooting at? Oh, a Jian swordsman! Jian swordsman who out-heals the damage that the war galley applies to him. That guy just destroyed an entire ship with that sword. This guy's OP. Look at that shield he has. It's a fancy shield. As a boss. Alright, so defensive castle there from Matomsky, also castle from Spaden. He does have the fire archer. Oh, a defensive castle from Martin. From Martin, I mean. Two M players. So Matomsky still controlling the water. Gotta be careful with Armenians if they get imp though with Cilician fleet. Potential Droman, so there he goes. Could always castle the coastline and redock to retake water. I wonder if Thursidai could be useful. But anyway, Akro's push continuing. He does, however, still have the lowest score and the lowest Vil count in the game. 127 Vils for Spaden. TC will be going down to Mangonels. Thinking earlier today that medical horror is only twice as good as Georgian's imp bonus. Oh wow, that was a big jump in zoom level. Right, longsword now for Akro, and look at how effective that is. Taking out the Mangonel, dodging castle fire. Forcing the Mangonel into another shot. Does go down to the Vils though. And oh, the fire archer is burning the Mangonel. Capture Age doesn't even display anything there for the burn damage, but it's on fire visually. Is it losing HP over time? I don't even know, but okay, it was on fire. What does burn damage apply to Mangonels? My hill is going to repair it. TC still under pressure. Another forward castle from Matomsky. As he and Akro both are up to imp, but then Spaden's up to imp. Elite composite bowman. So double bowman. Elite composite bowman and fire archer unique units from these civs. Akro's Japanese swordsman again, faster. Yes, faster attack rate. Is that better than the healing of the Wu? I don't know. I would think so. But also maybe risky to use against composite bowman. His bracer and arb on the way, so Dravidian player. It is for the ships, but also could be thinking about going arb. I mean, ironically, it might be a situation where you want the Japanese player to swap back into Cav Archer, just for the Dravidian player to keep going Rumi Swordsman. And have that be your melee ranged combination. So Monk goes down, but not before the Mangonel gets a conversion. There are two-handed swordsmen for Spaden. Doesn't have many yet, but he's going to start going to that champion line production. Crossbow's doing some raiding though, and Spaden will go for a defensive castle. Try to throw that up. Heated shot. Buildings will have more attack against ships in case they ever want to do a castle on the coast and retake the water, or some towers to retake the water. Two-handed swordsman in. So crossbows keep hoovering around. Romanians doesn't seem like a great 2v2 combo in Imp. That's what I was saying, the unique units kind of overlap each other by being archers in some respects. Zacro up to Imp. Dravidians do, of course, then have Dravidian skirms, too, against the archers. Hard to use composite bowmen with the lack of range against arbalests. A lot of micro. Traction Trebs trying to pick off the Mangonels. This is a big longsword push here. Two-handed swordsman on the way from Acro. How often do we see two players legit doing two-handed swordsman in a game? Martin has to be careful of his Trebs. He does, however, take out a castle. Acro's push kind of stalling out, but Matomsky's push continuing with the Arbs. On the water, double fortified church. Does heated shot apply to fortified churches? No, they only have pierce attack. Does Martin know that? I don't know. I didn't know that until I just checked. So no, heated shot does not apply to fortified churches. Should it? Maybe. Does it apply to TCs? Nope, that's just Pierce 2. Rumis are ridiculous in melee. They are the only infantry to trade evenly with cataphracts, albeit only those without the Imp unique tech. Yeah, cataphracts with fully upgraded, I think, should still do well with the Rumis. But the spin attack can be devastating too. This is a zero cav game. They had scouts. Scouts. Hello, Tucson Blues. Does Wu have the best cav? And Japanese cav archers are pretty good cav, right? But I guess Wu maybe. Maybe they would be the cav civ this game, but I think it's pretty telling that we have the Jin swordsman here. Jin swordsman to deal with Arbs. Even though they're lackluster against the two-handed swordsman. Oh, maybe not that lackluster. The composite bowman wrecked the two-handed swordsman there. And the Jin swordsman are going forward with the push. Oh gosh, look at the Jin swordsman go. Look at them go. Got 9 pierce armor. They got 6 melee armor. And heck with the melee armor. It's only, oh, it is +8 against shock infantry though. And straight up the two-handed swordsman probably win, but in combination with the Gen bows, we have elephant archers now from Matomsky. Okay, maybe we need just samurai from Acro then. I was saying Cav Archer Rumis, maybe it should actually be Samurai. Samurai Elephant Archer. They have Eagle Armor, yes, the old Eagle Armor class that was reclassified to Shock Infantry. The Jin Swordsmen have it. And the Jin Swordsmen are pushing. They're pushing. Now Trebs are deploying on the castle. Castle's starting to go down. Is the meta still Cav Archers? It is these days for the most part, but not really against the Jin Swordsman. We saw Akko try to do that earlier and didn't quite work out. These things just have too much armor. So castle goes down, and now the Trebs start working on the monasteries. Traction Treb there, I think that got converted, maybe? Anyway, the bowman will take it out. And guilds on the way for Spaden. I'll look to do some buying and selling. Monasteries keep going down. Gonna be Japanese the archer player? I don't know. I mean, Japanese are a good infantry civ too. I mean, but both Japanese and Dravidians are archer infantry civs. I think elephant archer probably is the best archer, even better than cav archers. And I like the monk choice too. My only concern is maybe we actually did need samurai to deal with the unique unit. Because the Jin swordsman should count as unique units. Is there any more left? What are you? Yep, you're a unique unit too. I think samurai might even be the choice there. Any archers that do pass through damage? Not that I know of. They're the spawn towers. And the caravels, but I guess those are not what you're thinking of for archers. Internet and cell service are both awful. I can sympathize. The elephants are taking out some of the halbs. Travel getting some shots on the elephants in the rear. Chakram. Yeah, that's true. Chakram. They do pass through damage, but it's melee. Chakrams are very polarizing. In some situations, they are amazingly OP. In other situations, they're kind of useless. Wise Reb spamming halb. Meat shield, yes. Japanese faster attacking halbs. Same reason blues spamming them. Need to have that melee unit as the meat shield. It keeps the elephant archers alive. Lots of skirms here from Martin. Skirms do counter the halb and the elephant archer, and the monk. It's a weak unit that somehow counters everything. A siege elephant and elite skirm now from Matomsky. That'll mean Dravidians make skirms. Inverted Jin swordsman in there. Ooh, bombard cannons in the back. Bombard cannons. Where are the Dravidians? Chakram infantry. Yep, chakrams are considered infantry units. I think slingers do bonus damage against them, and hand cannoneers do too. And they do melee damage with their pass-through projectiles with their frisbees. Cannons taking out the bowmen. You prop your phone up on the window, you get 2 bars. Nice. Anna, what is this? Bit of raiding. Some halbs getting into the back. Chased down, but that wall did not get finished. 1 tile left, and Acro will go wall that off. Make sure he doesn't get raided. Still they control the water, but they never actually managed to land the island of Martin. Martin's still chopping wood out there fairly efficiently. He's doing coinage, ready to sling. Now, taking up this island is something we've seen useful in other instances, because then you can do your diagonal trade from the corner to the island. From there to there and get pretty valuable trade. But Martin with those churches still holding on. When is the coin age? Right now, coinage is in. And Martin has advanced to the coin age. Tomsky's slinging Acro a bit. Not much sling there, a tiny bit of sling. This is more balancing your late game eco though, than it is doing slinging. Yeah, chakrams did wreck everything on really. I don't know if did they change chakrams all that much? I think they reworked them at one point. It's a really fun unit to use, but it's not one that ever was, I think, balanced properly. So okay, skirm's getting domed by the cannons. Little Alexander. Helps pushing in. So what are the remaining golds? No more gold on the mainland, I see. A tiny bit more gold here. That's it. 3 tiles of gold there. 800 gold total. Martin, no gold on the islands, so they are running out of gold now. This will be a no gold situation, a situation where all those monks are going to be especially valuable at healing the elephant archers. I don't zoom in that much. There you go. This is stupid hot in NY. It was really hot today. Like I am in a situation where I'm in a very cool apartment though, naturally, so I don't even need to run the AC. I just turn it on a tiny bit to take some of the stickiness out of the air occasionally. But that's it. Like 90 plus outside, but probably in the 70s here in this room. That is the way to design a summer apartment. Cannon's going for the ranges, trying to take them out. This is going to be a slow grind. All likelihood, yes. So barracks goes down, cannons continue pushing, and they will go for the castle. Is red the civ with fire archers? No, blue is the civ with fire archers. Red is the Japanese. Red could potentially have samurai, but we have coinage and banking, both players getting ready to sling each other. Unless they have a big stockpile of resources, more for a Nocturna so far. They're taking the score lead, and now slowly but surely starting to push. Slowly but surely starting to push. Cannons going to the castle, and Armenians woo. I think there are definitely some shortcomings in their late game composition, particularly against Dravidian skirmishers. Castle goes down, and as the castles go down, the push will start getting stronger. And there's the GG. 70, someone will always be an F. So GG's, and Acro's team, NOC, Nocturna will do it. Let me, as I do this, copy and paste the Sweden name to the scoreboard. Where are we at? There we are. Nocturna C. I can probably fight Nocturna, or spell Nocturna. I still tell them my like vocabulary is not fully recovered from that migraine I had. Matomsky 700 kills. Acro meat shielding as best he could, only 100 kills, but Matomsky did it on the water, eventually on the land. Spaden the most resources collected, but couldn't quite use them to fight the Dravidians there. Dravidians OP. Arumis and Skirms and Elephant Archers, oh my. Alright. That'll be Sumatra being won by Nocturna. And for the civs, that will be Dravidians and Japanese against the very first picked Wu. And the Armenians. Now, thank you all for tuning in. This, of course, is not the main event, but one of our community events, and the highest level community event that we have here between Nocturna and Spaden. These are the semifinals. I'll keep bringing more of the rest of the community events over the next few weeks. Just going to probably cast this one set today. It's a bit of a shorter stream compared to what we had been doing, but hopefully it will be a fun one nevertheless as we get back to Medieval Masters tomorrow. They're in the lobby. Everyone in YouTube chat. I need more people to type in YouTube chat. Oh, so Sam K's. No chance someone tries to win water instead of trade at this point. Sad. I would have liked to have seen water trade. But yes, I see. If you type in the YouTube chat, apparently you get like a crown icon. I don't know if that means like the top chatter or you typed the most messages or whatever. But for some reason you're getting a crown. Top fans. Oh, you have XP. I don't know what the XP is. What is this? Top fans and XP. Place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in live chat. It resets every stream, so you can always try again. How do you get on the leaderboard? You need to collect experience points or XP. Here's how you get them. Send live chat messages, send super chats, and super stickers. So basically, YouTube is encouraging you to spam the chat with messages to get onto the top chat. Your royalty here with the crowns. Yes, and hello, Vegeta towels. The map will indeed be Arena, a wonderful map, Arena. And let's go. That even a crown emote on YouTube. Oh, and we'll have Sweden against Nocturna once more. This doesn't yet fix. Need to set the flags. It'll be Spaden playing in the blue as the Magyars to the west, Martin playing as the green Bengalis to the south, Batkomsky as the red Britons to the east, and Acro as the yellow Burgundians to the north. Oh yes, YouTube spamming to get the crowns. As Vegeta takes the crown. YouTube, this is not a good idea. How do I opt out of the beta? Unknown username. Oh gosh, single letters. YouTube, what have you done? This is worse than the Mixer Sparks. Anyway, we will have 7 relics here. What is that? 7, yep, all of them spawn. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 relics. This map usually does have them fairly well spread out. Burgundians, Britons feel like one of the more OP arena tandems from this tournament. Britons usually pretty darn good, and Burgundians with an insane eco. On the other side, Bengalis, Magyars. Bengalis usually an arena civ if you monk rush. Britain's probably not the civ you want to be monk rushing with Bengalis. Little mini map. Although, to be fair, late game elephant archers will be great against Britons. Will be so tanky against their archers, will force the Britons more into skirms. Magyars, though, for Spaden. Ooh, Spaden leaving the one-tile gap between the berries and the mill. And to try to be more efficient if he puts lots of vills there. It's like 75 XP is the limit. Okay. I guess the first 75 just gets the crown then. $37 in classic, no AC in Germany. Oh no. Those Germans trying to be extra energy efficient. Arena. Yes, this is indeed arena with an I. So the walls will have, if I click a single one, 1,800 HP in the Dark Age. None of that tower rush silliness we see in DE's arena. This is a proper map for proper clowns. We've seen 2 players deleting their back walls. We've also seen instances where not deleting the back wall has been the correct play. We saw in that Hera, Doubt, Andy Lewis game, every single player, all 4 of them, used the back walls. Nothing can stop antagonists from trushing on arena. You could even give him city walls and aqueducts, and maybe we'd still have trushes. That was one of our hyper-random games, right? City walls and aqueducts. I remember that from a couple years ago. And a couple of sheep. Did Spaden find his sheep? Okay, he did. He's gonna pick him up. I was avoiding he might have done a doubt scouting and missed his sheep by not scouting exactly 2 tiles. Yeah, in this map I did actually make the explored area a bit larger than on other Cartographers maps, just because I felt it was silly to have like three or four tiles every so often of not explored wall inside of your base. There's also usually nothing of interest in the back because all of your resources spawn forward. Scouts going for a fight at the front. Tomsky and Spaden. And they're both going to back off. Neither really wanting to engage in that fight. The Feudal Age is in for everyone. Matomsky and Martin both up, so the worst end of the stick for Matomsky in that fight. If Martin were to also to get up in Feudal and fight for now, then he'd have to run. There they are, now he's speedy. And Martin's nearby, but not going to be able to take the fight. That was misspelled. Nope, that is intentional. That is intentional. Arena with an I for proper HP on the walls. Happy Canada Day? I am not Canadian, but I saw Dave and Daniela playing some team games earlier. So hope they enjoy their Canada Day. I'm going to have my America Day in 3 days from now. Today is also Bobby Bonilla Day for all my Mets fans out there. Those of you who know nothing about American sports, New York Mets are a baseball team who are known for having rather hilarious failures. And back in the 1990s, they signed a player called Bobby Bonilla who proceeded to be awful, so they bought out his contract. And by buying him out, they deferred his payments, and now they pay him about a little over $1 million every year, every July 1st, and they're going to continue doing that until 2035. Daniela isn't Canadian, she lives in Canada. So Castle Age is coming in for everyone, and we look at the Bengalis, and no forward castle. This is just going to be a boom. We look at the Britons, and lots of villas on stone. Has Martin scouted that? Martin is not. Needs to run his scout alongside the walls to try to find that. Maybe he'll do so right now. Or we're getting close to it. Just sticking by the gate. But Tomsky might just be able to come forward and drop a castle right on his face. Good thing for Martin, though, is he would have a decent map to defend. His golds can be walled off. And stone is in the back. TC goes up on the stone. And the other side, so 2 vills on gold and staple opening from Spaden. We get some Magyar scouts out with a free +2, and then maybe makes it difficult for Matomsky to go forward. +2 scouts are out and about. Oh, he's not going to go forward. He's going to go for the castle at home. Maybe worried about the Magyars, despite Acro's interference. The scouts will keep running around. 2 TCs for Martin. And they probably got what they wanted. Just castle, but at home instead of forward. And that'll alleviate some of the timing for the pressure. There's Husbandry on the way for Spaden, Light Cav on the way for Acro. Oh, Spaden will then be faster. Much faster. Oh, look at that speed. Is that this capture age jumping? 1.71 against 1.55, soon to be 1.5. And Spaden can just micro scouts away from Light Cav for a while, and even do so, even take a fight at some point if he wants to with that 3+2 attack. Look how speedy he is, how good that micro will be. So 2 TCs for him behind this, so significantly more TCs for the Swedish team. Nocturna content on 1 TC play. Husbandry now on the way for Acro. There's the castle, there are some longbows. Have to be wary of petards. Ah, DE crashed. Why did DE crash? Send error report. Let me close. Ah, what happened? Didn't run out of VRAM. DE just crashed. Let me close capture age then. Okay. 90K just crashed while spectating. DE crashed. Get your thanks D's in the chat. Okay. Thanks, DE. Let's restart the game. Wonder if that is related to capture age. Would I like to re-enable my mods? DE, why do you stop? Gotta restart the game twice every time now. Restart the game to enable the mods. And get back into the game, okay. So everyone get your thanks DEs in the chat. Thanks, Nilly. Now, Nilly only does pathfinding. This is a larger scale issue, the fact that you need a third-party application just to watch games. I'm thinking of updating the UI in-game and just trying to spectate in-game from now on, rather than capture age. It's just been giving me so many issues. And the graphics are higher quality in-game anyway, too. Now we gotta catch back up to live time. You can do it, DE. See, hopefully we get past that point and it doesn't just break every time. So scout fight there, castle up at home. Scouts hoovering around. So monk gets picked off. And longbows and petards, there we are. That's what we want to see. Longbows and petards coming forward. They take the gate, the quick wall behind this. And there's that useful second gold in the back. And this is what I was looking at when I first saw the base, that it's definitely possible to wall this up and defend in the back. So longbows, will they go maybe around the side? They can hit those vills. They do outrange the mangonel, but still tricky, and defensive castle going up. The mangonel will be there to defend the castle. And that will go up, no problem. It will go up, and still the bigger boom for Martin as the longbows come in, and they will start getting in on the front, trying to hoover in past that castle. High speed cast, yes. Oh, is that another monk that's going to be picked off by Spaden? It is, it is. Oh, Spaden's picked off so many monks. Oh, he can't right-click it. He can't right-click the monk. He right-clicked a light cab instead of the monk. Aqua's monk just barely survives. And Ford Castle and Imperial Age there from Matomsky, but at the same time, Imp won't be too far away from Martin. Martin might need to start amassing a couple of elephant rams for a push. Seeing how it is only longbows. Eco lead is a 50 vil lead for Sweden's team. Although the Burgundian player Acro getting a nice boom added in too. Spaden to boom with the Mag Arrow. Spaden could probably boom and go a recurve bow Cav Archers, and I don't know if the Burgundians really could answer that. Even with skirmishers, they should die to the without the final armor upgrade to the recurve bow Cav Archers. And you see padded archer armor from Martin. That is for the Rothas. And there he's doing armored elephant. And he's doing an armored elephant now, so he is thinking of the elephant push. Imp is in this TC. I guess it probably should have been this TC, but living life on the edge. Wants to protect those golds, gets up a second castle. So Imp first in from Matomsky. We'll see how his Treb production goes. His first Treb is in the back castle, it looks like. Probably just using select all TCs. You probably want the first Treb in this castle. But he will look to try to get Treb with his double castle production. And the third gold even over here for Martin. Double castles protecting his golds. Now if Martin can just get up to 4 Trebs, which considering the distance of that back castle he probably should. Take out the first Treb, he should be okay. Or castle there from Acro. Longbows take out that villager. Have Loom on the way. And elephant push, 2 elephants forward. They can keep the Trebs at bay. 3 elephants now that now the deleted stuff is deleted. It needs to right-click the elephant on the castle again, or move the path and then hit the castle. Longbows from so far away, from downtown, trying to pepper those elephants with arrows. Castle losing a lot of HP. Elephants going down though, but this is how we're buying time for more Rothas, maybe for more Trebs. It will be a failed elephant push there from Martin, who does have the highest score overall, but now needs some way to deal with those Trebs. Maybe it's just melee mode Rothas knocking them down. So his picks are picked, yeah. Why Magyar's on Arena? I don't know. We're gonna need to see Spaden do something fancy with him. He's going for scale barding armor, so it looks like he's gonna be going for the Cav army, not the Cav Archer army. But is this serious? This is the community version of Cartographers. This is the community league. This will be our Pathfinder match. This is our highest tier of community leagues. All these players here are around 2K2. So this push continuing. Warwolf Trebs on the way. That's going to make it really hard for Martin now to take a Treb fight. Still feels like the elephant rams might be the way, but I think he maybe just was a bit too early with the elephants and didn't push them in combination with Trebs. There's a lot of Rothas that could maybe just dive and destroy the Trebs, delete the wall and go for the Trebs. The longbows are not protecting them. They need to get back though. The wall's deleted, and now the positioning is just can you get the longbows back in time where you can use the castle and garrison the castle to keep them safe. Cap still hoovering around inside of Martin's base, and Martin has lost a lot of his forward potential so far with that eco. But he's also slipped out the side, saving more vills, still has gold control, so he's still okay if he ever could pump some army. The problem is army is nothing but Rothas now. Rothas that maybe are not too keen on fighting the longbows. Here's Paladin, that cheap Burgundian Paladin upgrade. Only Cavalier for Spaden. Gonna be a long time before he gets Paladins. And some Custulier out. Rothas here to fight. Fight and maybe take out Trebs. And Martin gonna get back from the fight though. Just too much Cav there from Acro. Maybe too much Eco now for NOC. Houses, Treb's going for the blacksmith. Blacksmith will get its upgrade before it goes down. And now, where's the stable for Cavaliers? That's far in the back, so that upgrade will come in. Spaden have production though at the same time. His teammate going for a big push out with the Rothas. Rothas gonna start taking out Trebs. Vills, they're going to attack the castle, why not? Some Vills in the back going down. Garrison there for Martin. Martin chasing the Trebs, chasing the longbows. Trebs will go down to melee mode finally. they try to run, elephants will go on the castle, and a Treb in the back will attack the castle. This is what I wanted to see, that combination elephant-Treb push. But the longbows did such a good job of taking out the Rathas there. Now there's no more army. This Treb will take out the castle. Warwolves will make short work of that Treb. The elephant ram goes down. The Vils quickly repair, but not enough. They almost kept that castle alive. That Treb will go down, but that gives maybe a bit of breathing room for Martin, but not enough as Spaden's being pushed. At the same time, they will call the GG, and Nocturna goes up 2-0, as all the paladins will be flooding in from Acro into this base. That beautiful new Magros castle architecture, not enough to help someone who doesn't have the army, who doesn't have the upgrades, will just be fighting Cavalier against paladins. No bloodlines on the paladins, but still more HP than the Cavaliers nevertheless. And GG, what's the lowest elo it goes? Very low. We have 11 brackets on the Community League, from Pathfinder at the top all the way down to Scout at the bottom. So that's 55 kills from a top against the Britons, and I was a bit worried with the initial castle being at home, but they managed to make it work. Some nice 2v1ing with the Cav from Acro helped keep Martin down. Trebs are so aggressive against other Trebs. Well, Werewolf Trebs are, that's for sure. That's 2-0 for Nocturna. Sweden lost Arena, and their final home map would be African Clearing. Then Forest Pond and Outcrop the maps for Nocturna, as they win with their very first pick Britons, and with Burgundians against Magyars of all things, and Bengalis. And for Bullet to multitask. So thank you all for tuning in. Again, nice to see viewer numbers on YouTube still holding strong. The Twitch numbers are very affected by whether or not T90 streams. The YouTube a bit less so, I'd say. I have around 100 for each, so 200 plus viewers for this. And just for a random community event, I think that's still pretty nice. While we're taking a break, remember chat, stay hydrated, and drink your water if it's really hot outside. Even if it's not, still drink water. Just watched a movie yesterday where Khitans and Jurchens were enemies of Goryeo. Turns out you just like watching? Well, we'll see how it goes for Medieval Masters over the weekend, how that viewership goes. This is Mario's tournament, but we've been doing very nice for viewership so far. Also, Veterano, thank you for the follow during that previous game. Missed the notification, but thank you very much. Well, it will play the 2-2 game, first AC, which you don't want to play. Louise, Spaden, and Martin. Warming up with some Rage Forest. And here we go. in capture age. And alright, African clearing, everyone going to the northwest of the map for their TCs. And this will be, in the semifinals, the last effort for Sweden to stave off elimination. They find themselves in an 0-2 hole, and they'll play their final home map of African clearing. Now, to the north, we'll have Spaden as the Huns and Martin as the Burmese. To the slightly less north, we'll have Acro as the Chinese and Metomsky as the Koreans. Now, Huns are amazing on this map because as this TC will finish, they will get the majestic Hunnic horse to go and collect all of the sheep on the map. The Huns have a Dark Age scout now, which makes them insane. Acro himself, though, as the Chinese, instead of a horse, he will have 3 extra villagers. And that's 3 extra villagers with a shorefish economy. He is not going to have idle time on that TC at all. In fact, he has 0 seconds of idle TC. He has collected food while constructing the TC and then immediately started, while doing loom, collecting from the shorefish, so he does not need any loom himself. Also, extra pop space for the TC now for the Chinese, so they can delay their houses or don't need to spend as much wood on houses. Now, this villager might discover Martin there. And hello, Clint Eastwood. And yep, he saw the rhino and was like, nope, I need to get out of there. So compared to the latter African clearing, there are slightly more trees in the middle. There are trees near each of the ponds. So this TC is not maybe as tricky to play as it might have been on latter African clearing where you need to find a lumber camp on the outside. Acro is the player now with the least amount of access to the outside and blocked in from getting to the top right by Martin. But he can still thread the needle between the 2 Swedish players and find a way to get more vills to the top by where his mill already is. Xing over here from Metomsky. Green extra line of sight on the villagers is a great nomad bonus too. And you do think Koreans late game should do very well against Huns with war wagons. Unless maybe we see some Tarkans, but that could be fun if you see Tarkans from Spaden. TC takes out the Rhino, and down it goes. Bills finish it off. That's a mill from Martin. For a second I thought it was going to be a barracks or something forward. But Feudal Age first for Acro. He's on gold, so this might just be an archer play from him. Seeing Martin so close could reasonably go archers. Martin's going to look to wall up. It's a big wall, but could help keep him safe. We'll have gold inside the walls too if he's going for that, but he'll maybe loop around and go towards the pond in the TC. Might need more vills just to finish this wall. And Hornet Wing, thank you very much for the sub. Thanks for hosting the event. Well, thank you for the sub. We're actually super close to 400 sub points. We're at 392 right now. So we need 8 more subs. But I appreciate you using your Prime. Of course, if you have Amazon Prime, you do have that free sub you can use every month. I don't get as much as a normal sub, but it still does help. Lons and Crab. Hello, Crab. And we'll have an archery range going up for Acro. More sheep scouting for Spaden. Acro's gonna need to find some damage here. Is it? Ooh. Is the damage having a sneak villager? Is Martin noticing this and fighting? He's fighting right away. Vill will be walled in. Nice walls, and there's the loom for both these players. Just found a weak Vill to fight. Mine camp. Ooh, move it one tile over. Do a masterpiece between both of them, but we'll go up directly on the stone, directly touching it. And with the Korean team bonus, that Vill from Acro will indeed see that. fully aware of the presence of the stoning mining camp. I guess not a surprise that the Burmese might want to run by. Alright, an archer coming over. With the archer, I'm going to try to save the Vil. The key will then be keeping the archers on the outside with the Vils hacked through the palisades. But that Vil might just be committed to by Martin and taken out. And the weak Vil needs to get back to the safety of the TC, but without ballistics, she should be able to do so. Oh, what is Acro doing over here with the Vils? What are those Vils doing? He's going for a lumber camp, but he's found his other enemy. He's found both the enemies. He's running to both their TCs, going for lumber camps. So Acro under pressure, Lumen Skirms coming forward. Acro doing what he can to be annoying and disrupt two players. So Skirm hits the Vils have to run away. Martin up to Feudal. As the skirms go down, archers will run over as then Fletching's on the way for Spaden. Ooh, and archers could disrupt the gold or the wood line. Nothing walled in over here. And the archers will find a path right in towards the wood, right towards the gold. And find a weak villager on the gold. There's a Vil pick. Anyway, they run to the TC. That, the one archer down definitely hurts when you go for a wood line, but I will idle the wood line. Nevertheless, Spaden going for the skirm defense, but we'll have archers hoovering around through the back. And the skirms at the front, taking Acro off the gold. Vils walling into lumber camp. Skirms come over. We'll be trying to hit the Vils, be annoying. One Vil will run. He says, I'm getting out of here. You guys fend for yourselves. I'm making a break for my TC. And oh, castle drop from Matomsky from the Koreans player. And immediately it will be a defensive tower there from Spaden to try to stop the castle. Do towers actually stop the castles? Other Vils go into Vil fight. He's got to get it walled in. Some skirms there to disrupt it anyway. The walls go up. Scouts are out here for Acro, hitting skirmishers. The tower goes up. Is this a denied castle? Is this a doubt castle? As Spaden has the tower. And 65%, 7 Vils, that goes down. I don't think this goes up. I think the tower denies it, actually. Only 6 Vils left. I think this is denied. 83, 84, 85%. Weak Vils going down. 5 Vils left. They're all very weak. 95%, 3 Vils. The house is breached, 99%, and it does go up with only 2 Vils left. One is very low on HP, but it does go up. That tower had been slightly faster. It might have been stopped. But now it's War Wagon time. What eco does Matomsky have for War Wagon? Absolutely none. He's got 21 Vils. But it's a Feudal Age Hunnic player who now has Feudal Skirms to deal with War Wagons. That won't help against all the armor. Expensive castle, but it just went up. Spaden almost denied it. Now the War Wagons, you need maybe 3 or 4 before fighting the Skirms, but you should be able to fight them. They're only Feudal Skirms. That's 4 armor against 9 attack, so they should go down once you have enough War Wagons out. Don't know if I've ever seen a tower deny a castle. I've seen it before. You have to do it right away, though. You can't hesitate. You have to see the castle and think, tower right now. You have to look at the castle, see how many Vils are building it, and think, I can do it. And immediately do the tower and believe, sometimes even double tower. Spaden did almost everything right there, but it still goes up. Now Spaden's in so much trouble as the scouts can hoover around too. And now with 3 war wagons, now you can combo with the scouts and kill those skirms. And that's important. 9 skirms as Spaden will just delete and rebuild his TC somewhere. Or it goes down. Anyway, Spaden will need a new TC. Doesn't have the stone for a TC. Does not have the stone for a TC. Where did he spend his stone? Must have did on a tower. Oh yeah, on the tower. Because he did the tower, he can't afford to rebuild the TC. And on Spaden now 0 TC gaming as the scouts come in. They'll be picking off the skirms. And the war wagons are going to swap sides and try to deal with the Arambai. Now the scouts are there for the skirms. The war wagons for the Arambai. And those will at least buy some time. Buy some time for Acro to boom. As Acro is going to lose his TC. Acro's up to the castle age. But the castle drop from Martin is on his TC. So Spaden just dead. Well, maybe it becomes a 1v1 from Matador versus Martin. Martin then has the Vil lead. And Acro, repair your TC. Ooh, that's close. 100. He's just going to have the repairs to get to the castle age. 3 Vils repairing. 96, 97, 98, 99, and 100. He is up to castle. Yellow's castle too, but he just manages to survive. And if the ballistics ever come in for the war wagons, then they'd be much better against the Arambai. It does need to come in. And Palisade Wall not breached. Castle will hit the barracks. And still ballistics would be great. Spaden's still feudal. I'd be tempted to go for 5 petards and go for the TC. I'd be tempted for it. War wagon still hitting Vils. Martin definitely the highest score. Acro lower score than Spaden somehow, despite being an age up. And ooh, that's why Acro losing the Vils on the lumber camp. Oh no. There goes Acro. That's what I said. This TC position in the middle is so tough because you need to find the lumber camp spot. And Acro in a really bad spot. Oh, wait, the war wagons are in. The war wagons, they got in. How did they get in? Is there a hole? There's a hole between the house and the stone wall. And now the war wagons are in. It's a lot of monks for conversions, though. But the eco from Martin completely disrupted now. He's losing monks. Got a couple conversions, though. And 3 conversions there was great. And with only 7 war wagons left, those war wagons and Arambai and healing will fend this off. Only 21 Vils. Oh, at the same time, the Arambai are in. They're in on Matomsky's base. Everyone getting raided. The Arambai are going to try to find the Vils here. There aren't many Vils left. Vils going down to Arambai. Oh, no. Oh, no. I think we're going to get to another game. I think we're going to have a game 4. Oh, the Vils melting on the wood line. Oh, war wagon's still in the middle from Matomsky, but that's the only population he has. He's down to 13 Vils. 11 of them are in the TC, 1 is there. And 1 is somewhere else. Oh, 1's still surviving on the lumber camp, just barely. Let's get Reviews to get another game. We have streamed already 90 minutes. Time just flies when you're streaming. Squint Eastwood calling the GG. Calling the GG. And 69 Vils to 44 does feel like a big difference. I don't see Matomsky really getting back. It's gonna come in, get in on the skirms. Spears come over, poke down the knights. Because the wagons getting converted helped too. Yeah, losing so many vills in the castle was devastating. And how defensive tower for Spaden. Spaden's still feudal, but he's holding on. He's holding on like a champ. 5 wagons to 3. Martin does have more wagons than Ratomski does. Feudal Skirm is doing what they can. Now Knights out for Acro. That's a lot of Arambai. I don't think you can fight that many Arambai. Well, this certainly was a game of African clearing. It was still, oh, that's the sheep back there. I thought that was still an Arambai. There's the GG from Acro, and we're heading to game number 4. Sweden wins their home map. Keep the dream of a reverse sweep alive. 43 kills for Martin. 35 deaths, including a Doubt Castle from Matomsky. Not enough. Not the castle. Not enough. And that's 2-1 in favor of Nocturna. We still have all their home maps left. Koreans and Chinese, so they didn't really pick civs for African clearing. Maybe not as comfortable there. But against Huns, a very high pick. And Burmese. There'll be red white in the lobby. Home maps remaining Outcrop and Forest Pond. And they are in the lobby, and looks like they picked Outcrop, so if you want Forest Pond, then we'll need a game 5. Okay, still in the lobby. See, maybe we'll have a bullet sighting. I see Spaden's there. There's Acro and Matomsky on the other side. See, still just spading. Still just spading. Bullet taking your spot? Okay, Martin confirming. Bullet will be there. So, Outcrop, the map we're playing. Let's see what civs they have potentially for Outcrop. Maya and Ethiopians. Potentials there for Nocturna as the flank. Frankus as a pocket. Ooh, so cool. Question of what you prefer there, Maya or Ethiopian. Shu could be the flank. Shu and Khitans could be the civs for Sweden. Oop, let me check off the map there after clearing. Did win that. I got the civs. All right. I miss these maps now. I've really enjoyed this map pool. I mean, you always improve on stuff, but I think this is the favorite map pool I've seen in a tournament in a while. It didn't just have a bunch of fire galleys on small maps. and Kaustub Sathi, thank you for the follow a minute ago. You like the sudden... I like the sudden death edition too. I think that was a nice tweak to the chaos pool. I don't know what to think of Valley of Kings, because I think it would be much better if you could Vil fight the Gaia units. Well, other than that, I really liked the Canberra Four Seasons Valley of Kings combo. Okay, there indeed, Bullet in the lobby. Coming on for Sweden. Wait to 3TC boom. I just gotta love a good 3TC boom. Have to be DI, could we set up a dud computer team? I'm not gonna go through players setting up in a mobile unit's AI. Supposedly could, but I don't think that's a good idea. Okay, they're in the lobby. Question is, will they launch? There's a 1TC. Every sudden death tournament there's a 1TC limit. You check out sudden disaster. Oh, they are launching. They are launching. And here we go. And let's get this set up. Red versus blue so we can see the dots. It will be, yep, Franks and Maya. Almost as classic as Huns and Maya. For Acro in the pocket and Medtomsky on the flank for Nocturna. And then on the other side, it'll be indeed Khitans and Shu. So very classic versus very new. Khitans for Spaden and Shu for Bullet. And this match is indeed being played after the update. So this is the quote-unquote nerfed Khitans with the less efficient pastures. Sabor brought in. And the map will be Outcrop. a straight line with, on the outside, all the golds and stones outlying in the lowlands. There's a lot of sheep down there to collect too. Each player has 2 groups of 2 gold tiles at the top. And maybe a bit of a better gold spawn here for Bullet. Matomskis are very far forward, but that being said, there's no real great way to wall in front of this one for Bullet either. Lots of opening with the forest there. You can do a couple of walls and go around. The Ibex being pushed into the TC. There it goes, and the boar chasing the villager now. Boar will be taken under the TC, and the Ibex will be pushed here from Bullet. Boar taken under the TC as the Ibex continues to be pushed in from the Scout. Ibex also pushed in there from Matomsky. And Feudal on the way for Acro. Very fast Feudal. Fast Feudals from this team. Or yeah, I guess that's just 1 vil faster for Acro compared to everyone else. And be aware the colors do determine your position here, so Acro did end up being the yellow here. Between Sumatra and this map, they swapped positions, so... Where they swap the colors per position. Barracks going up. And ooh, very close barracks here. Both players kind of having a natural spot to wall that are right against each other. Okay, interesting outcrop spawn. Double scouts hoovering around. As soon as they get up, they're going to look to jump. How much stone total on the map? A lot of stone, but it's all on the outside. There's no stone per players at their starting bases. So as the scouts get up, they will be stronger than the Eagles, but that was a decent Dark Age fight from the Eagle from Matomsky, and that should let him get both of the ranges up. So 1 range right away from Bullet. He'll probably look to do a 2nd range after this. As the Shoe, he will have those cheaper archer upgrades. So fletching and armor at the blacksmith, and then the crossbow to arbalest upgrades at the range. Also thumb ring at the range too, I think that's discounted. Also we'll get food while chopping wood, so simple setup for the eco. Smooth setup for the eco. That's how the Shoe work. Yeah, they're just a really smooth to play archer civ with all of their discount and eco bonuses. A nice poke from Bullet. Remember, Spears do actually have an attack bonus against Eagles slightly. It's +1 against shock infantry, so actually very useful at fending off the Eagles. At least in the Feudal Age. Now these teams now looking to wall up this map. Usually do a stable on one side and wall. So, something like exactly what Acro is doing. Spear goes down to the archers. And so scouts from both pockets, scouts from Spaden. .48 Vils still. Nocturno with a slight advantage in map positioning. But Sweden should still be okay to take the fight. See if they can jump archers if they're a bit too far forward. Spaden tried to, but lost a scout for it. Low HP archers, he wants to get another hit. Now they have to be careful that the archers and scouts will be camping in front of the archery ranges and picking off reinforcements. More archers on the way forward from Atomsky. And yeah, Nocturne is happy to hold this position. That hard-to-wall area in front of the gold going to backfire for Bullet. Despite having that safe gold in the back of his base, didn't try to use it. Tried to get the bigger walls in front of the front. Maybe another way would have been wall just here to the TC, wall here and play on this one gold. Only take this one after you've secured some more army and map control. But because they had to go for those bigger walls, they're now pushed out of position. And now those Frankish scouts will be hacking away at that archery range. So you want the archers in a position where they're shooting it. At some point, those scouts are going to have to jump to keep the range alive. They're not going to want the archers to ungarrison for free. That's going to mean smaller fights have to pop out. That range should go down in all likelihood. Archers try to regroup, but the range will go down. Then that just opens a passage right for mobility from Atomsky and Acro. They can run in and out. And just looking at the archer numbers 13 to 11. And with the discount that the Maya have on their archers, that disparity will likely only grow. So another range going down. That means we need a range in the back for Bullet. And this is a tricky fight because the scouts need to engage properly. No bloodlines for anyone, but armor and attack for the Khitans. Khitans with their extra attack, taking the fight. And the archers running away. The scout number is starting to go down for both sides. Spade and Bullet, you've watched them for 18 years. Well, definitely not as active as they were in the past, but here they're getting cleaned up. Nice, Nocturne is getting cleaned up. Nice fight from Bullet and Spaden. Push this back. Now those Shu archers ready to hit the wood line. At least they are walled. They're walled, but Vilkan actually a slight lead for Sweden. We have Castle Age on the way for Acro. As the scouts, or as the Franks, no bloodlines for him. No bloodlines for anyone here. It will be double stable knights, and now you're getting to the point where things get scary of how do you deal with knights, and do steppe lancers actually hold up all that well against knights? Will steppe crossbow work against knight crossbow? So Matomsky just trying to microbait, keep this army out. Our walls go up for Acro. Armor on the way, and should be able to do immediate triple stable Frank Knights. Okay, triple stables. And remember, you don't have much gold, so you do have to break out and get to the outside as soon as you can. This team prioritizing the Franks going up and doing knights, and they're able to do that because of the stone wall ability of the map. Archers will try to fend off scouts. Triple stable knights. Stop flaring. Someone made some stats. MBL's the player who flared the most. Maybe it makes sense because he's playing with Sorkuma, and I don't know how well their English communication is. But MBL apparently flared the most in Cartographers. The archer number is starting to dwindle, and once you get 6 knights as the Franks, then things start looking pretty scary, especially with +2. Then all those archers get cleared. So Bolt thinking of going back. No overchop yet. They don't want to die to the knights. They'll have to bring the archers to a spot where they're not going to get trapped. Knights still need husbandry. And 10 archers to 8 as the knights come forward. And they will look to pick off these archers. They're getting some hits in. And all the archers get cleaned. So now maybe the momentum's swinging a bit. I have some stone walls here. Stone walls from Bullet to try to keep the archers away. He'll trap his villager inside his own stone walls with the gate there. I don't know if that gate goes up. It's still looking for a spot around the back. No overchop. Ooh, maybe an overchop? Maybe an overchop. And there is an overchop. Spaden's woodline now beset upon by these knights. And he'll try to repair the wall, but the damage is done. Knights are kind of trapped. The vill's going to start going down. And he has to come back for scouts into maybe light cav at the attack upgrades to try to fend this off. Yeah, there's a lot of vills going down. He's just trying to fight not under the TC. Spaden will be losing more villagers. And at the front now, the crossbows are going to start getting in on the gold. And the holding for the knights seems to have been working. As we have some more small walls from Spaden. Spaden will lose his scouts if they have to fight the knights, maybe. The double iron casting attack on the way. That'll be another +2. More vills going down, though. All of a sudden, Nocturne is taking a vill lead. And, oh, the Khitans have camels. I didn't even know that. I've seen them go steppy so much. But yes, I guess they have camels. And camels should be able to clean up the night raids. Not too many knights are in, but will take a while. And you need to amass camels for fighting knights, too. The other side, crossbows getting in, taking out the scouts. They'll look to break in through the houses. Potential for another overchop here. As meanwhile, the light cav were hoovering around on the outside trying to stop vills going for TCs. But Acro aware of that. Acro still has more gold he can take, and seeing the light cav on the left, he's going to go for a TC on the right. We can have a forward workshop from Atomsky. Have to be careful you don't run out of gold if you go for the forward workshop. But he is going to just go to push right down the front. Bring on the way for Shu with that discount. Armor coming in for the Maya. 23 to 15. And Tomsky trying to keep the lead in the archer counts. And with ballistics, he'll pick off quite a few vills. So now 13 vill lead for Nocturna. I'll take out a couple of the houses and continue pouring in. TC maybe under a bit of duress. Knights keep hoovering around. And there's a lot of vills that are running, but the knights are there. And crossbows able to take out camels and steppies pretty darn well. Okay, that's a lot of vills that have just been massacred from Bullet. He's trying to run, trying to get a surround on the crossbows. More vills go down, vills everywhere dying. Oh, things just collapsing for Sweden here. As, oh, there's a mangonel on the front. One light cav to try to destroy it, but more crossbows there to defend. And a couple of knights back, too. It looks like Bullet had to stonewall his retreat. Now, 2 stables here, but it's just a palisade, just a flimsy palisade. And now I'm worried about Spade and Zico next. Tons seem weak to Expo and team games. That they do. That they do. You're not going to have the same numbers of Expos in a 1v1, and Skirm's going to be useful there. In team games, absolutely. So Vill's going down. GG out. Oh. Tur's saying it and Martin's saying it. Oh no, the villagers. Steppies. Very little Pierce armor. There are the GGs. And Nocturna will do it with a 3-1 victory over Sweden. They will go to the finals of the Pathfinder Community League. And we'll see who their opponents are. I think the favorite in the other set is Rulers of Rome. That's the Kamigawa and Vodka team. So a very good team there. I think they're playing Mexico with the team with Mr. Rosso. So good competition for them too. But military score there. 72 kills for Metomsky as the Maya. Best eco for Acro as the Franks. 17-minute castle timing, walled and held long enough that they could push without needing to move out for the gold. And GG's. So great that we're still having some high-level cartographers games here. I enjoyed that. We'll try to cast more of the community leagues and their finals and their playoffs as we go through. It's a win on Outcrop. That's Franks and Maya over Shu and Kitans. And at the end of the day, that is a 3-1 win for Nocturna. So, thank you all for watching. Bit of a shorter stream today, but we're going to get back to Medieval Masters tomorrow at 15 GMT. I'll schedule the stream on YouTube and get all of that sorted out. So thank you all for watching. I'm going to end the stream there on YouTube and get ready to raid someone on Twitch. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again